What's up, everyone? How we doing on this fine Monday morning or afternoon or evening or whenever you're going to listen to this thing? Could be in the middle of slamming a couple Ritz crackers in your throat or something like that. I hope everyone out there is doing well. Welcome to beginning of the week. I'm Zach Westfall, and hit the subscribe button if you haven't done that already. And I'm sorry I missed last week, man. Family stuff came up. My nephew just got back from Japan. And that place, I don't know. He told me a couple stories, you know what I'm talking about. But I'm just glad to have him back with us in the States. Glad he's well and alive and healthy. And I hope everyone out there is doing the same. You know what I'm talking about. Again, thank you for joining me. I sincerely appreciate you guys being here with us today. And, that's about all I can ask for from you guys is just being here, joining us, being a part of this. You know what I am talking about? Do you know what I am talking? Do you know what I am saying? You know what I'm saying? So, but dang, man, this morning, God, what a crazy, not a crazy morning, just, have you ever had one of those mornings that you just didn't know how to jump start your day, because your bed just didn't want you to, your bed just wanted to just hug on you all day long, like your sheets just wrapped themselves around your entire body, and they're just hugging on you like this linen is just wanting to commit a dang sex crime on your skin. Has that ever happened to you? Now you try so hard to get up. You're like, I could do this. And this 800 thread count's like, no, you won't. And it just sucks you right back down into it. And you're like, God, please, I gotta get my day going. Like the cotton count's just trying to steal the soul right out of your framework, and it just leaves you there, after it just steals it out of there, it just leaves you there lying there by yourself in like a dang hefty thong, or maybe a old pair of dirty boxers or something like that. Hell, some beds will just straight up steal your clothes right off your body in the middle of the night. Without you even knowing it either. You wake up to go get a drink of water, or maybe you're making a batch of some spicy ham soup or something like that. And the next thing you know, the shirt that you went to bed with is no longer existent on your body. I mean, that thing is lost in translation. And you're just like, where? How? Did someone break into my bedroom in the middle of the night and try to undress me? Because if they are, sign me up. You know what I'm talking about? That sort of thing. You're just like, like, what happened? So now you got a couple, large, white tees, all, they're all hidden. And you're like, I don't know where all my white clothing's going, and surprisingly enough, they're underneath your damn box spring. And so now they're all huddled around each other, just wondering who's gonna find. They're like, help us, because we're under here. And they're all just holding each other, and they're just trying to find out who's going to find them underneath there, And that being said, man, underneath a mattress, you'll find all sorts of crazy stuff under an ultra plush mattress. You know what I'm talking about? A couple dirty magazines, and maybe some Doritos or Fritos, and maybe you got a couple dollars that your dead grandmother gave to you about 6 years ago or something. Shit, you may even find your grandmother underneath that, doing some sort of doily work or something like that, or maybe some, a couple possums, or, giving birth under there, because you don't know. Who knows what you're going to find under there? You lift it up and you're just like, oh my God, it's Jacques Cousteau's treasure chest under here. You know, like what? How did all this get underneath my mattress? You know, and this is the same mattress that's trying to steal your soul out from underneath you. You know? Has that ever happened to you before? Trying to steal your soul and trying to steal your clothes off your body. Because that's what a mattress will do, especially a motel mattress. You know about those motel mattresses. Not only are you going to collect a large, portion of lice or some sort of STD under there, but you know what? While you're there, there's another form of, some sort of disease underneath that comforter or whatever that'll fight off that STD. They'll fight off your chlamydia and give you gonorrhea at the same time. And you're like, I don't know which one's worse or not, but shit, I'm here. And this is where I gotta lay my head. So that's what's happening with me this morning. Having a hard time getting out of the bed. And I'm sure that happens to you guys quite often, because it does with me. My Lord. But it's good to be here with everybody. Hope you guys are doing well again. And that's just what it is. It's how it is. It's what it is. When I was a kid, I used to listen to music while I was trying to, go to bed, because that would help me sleep. But lately, I dream about something and wake me up, and then I'd be focused on what I was dreaming about. Has that ever happened to you guys? You'd be dreaming about ice, you're like skating on ice cream or whatever. And next thing you know, you're waking up and you're like, oh my God, I could totally go for a dang, Captain Crunch Blizzard or whatever right now. And so now, your mind is just so focused on that ice cream that you're like trying, you're trying your best, you're trying to get your little eyes, your little orbicularis irises, you're trying to get them to close, you're trying so hard, and you could probably blink about 5,000 times trying to make them a little bit heavier than what they were. But now here it is, 2 hours later, you're still up and you're still thinking about that, that cold frosting or whatever. And now, because your mind's racing and you're just like, God, let me just go back to sleep, please, And so the next thing you know, you're up and you're like, oh no, I gotta wake up in 2 hours. And I gotta go back to sleep. And I've told, that's been happening to me for about, 6 months or now, so now. I haven't been listening to music, and maybe I should, because, some people say that if you do listen to music, or something, listen to something calm, like the rain, hitting like an old shed roof or something like that, or the ocean, coming in and crashing up against a cliffside or something like that, will help you put your mind at ease, And growing up, man, I had a buddy that his dad, he played drums and he played guitar and other plethora of instruments and that sort of thing. And he taught me how to, play bass a little. And because that's my main instrument that I try to go with, I guess. But anyway, so like he told me that if you played music and you listened to music while you were falling asleep, that it would help you become a better musician. And because your mind will pick up certain sounds that you didn't, hear, certain melodies, and then you could put them into action later, because while you're in your subconscious, you're eating up that sort of information. And so, when one of my buddies found out about that after I told him about that, he decided that, he had a pretty tough math test coming up in like a day or two after, I told him. So, he decided that this test that he was going to have to, take, he was going to try that method. And so what he did was he put his math book underneath his pillow and he tried to fall asleep on, the book, thinking that it would give him a better remembrance of he'd remember that material a little bit better. And I'll just let you know that this guy was a complete idiot too. I mean, whoever thinks that they're going to sleep on a book, especially one filled with a bunch of algebraic numbers, you think that's going to help you out, you are not going to be doing well in life at all. I mean, I'll just say, and I say it in life because if you're trying to do that with everything that you do, you're out of your damn mind. And I'll just say this. Not only did he not pass, but his parents actually held him back because they just thought he was a straight up moron. I mean, this kid is just, failing in everything, and it's just, but I haven't seen him in a couple of years or whatever, and or at least 10 years or whatever. So, I hope he's doing all right for himself. Hopefully he's not putting together any, Golden Gate bridges or any sky-rise building shit. I hope he's not even putting together a damn cradle, because what's going to happen. That little baby is going to be rolling out of that thing. And you know it. And you know this, man. But man, all those, that whole thing, with my buddy, with me telling him that, and then, not his dad, but the dad that taught me how to play bass, because it's just sounded like a rumor to me. Like you hear things, it's all hearsay. If you do this or you do that, this is going to help you or that's going to help you or not or whatever. But, it just reminds me of rumors, that you would hear as a kid. You remember some of those rumors, that your parents or grandparents would throw into your freaking cerebral cortex or whatever. You've heard the one, like, if you sit too close to the TV, it'll make you go blind. Or if you, if your eyes go, if you cross your eyes for too long, they'll sit like that. They'll stay like that. Or the one that everyone's heard, if you chew gum and you swallow that thing, you put some of that into your body and everything, it's going to be in your stomach until you die. Till you die, boy, till you die, but you remember those things, because, sometimes whenever I hear certain things, hearsay this and that and whatever, I sometimes reminisce about some of the rumors that would work themselves around, around school or the place that I used to live in at the time. And, nowadays there's so much information online that, everything you hear is almost a rumor. I mean, you don't even know if you're going to get the right, the right information, even just Googling that stuff. So, Google could just be a rumor for all we know. But, when I was in 6th or 7th grade, and you didn't have you didn't have those things. You didn't have online and the phones and all that other stuff, All you had, it was just hearsay. Hearsay is all you had. So you go to school and one day you'd hear Stacy found a dang purple dildo, in her brother's room, and then come to find out that guy didn't even, he didn't have a purple dildo because this cat didn't even have a sister. It was just something that someone made up because, that kid thought at that point in time that he was better than everybody else. So, people would be like, purple dildos. He found it. She found it in his room, you know? And you're like, wait a second. Hold on. He doesn't even have a sister. Huh? You know? Just shit like that, man. Because rumors back then was, that was the key. That was that telephone. Remember that game Telephone? You'd whisper, you'd whisper in like, uh, Miss Shorter, Miss Shorter as, uh, uh, you know, her nipples don't match with her, she's got one black nipple, one orange nipple. And everyone's like, what? Huh? Miss Shorter? Our principal's got one black nipple. What? That's crazy. And then pretty soon, next thing you know, about the 20th person down in line, they're like, Miss Shorter's breast. She's got one breast that has a green nipple, and then she's got one pierced with a little heart tattooed on it, and this and that. And you're like, God. I'm like, dang, Miss Shorter really knows how to get down. You know what I'm talking about? But there was also like, other rumors that went around that this girl that went to our high school and everything, that she slept with like half of the football team. At least that was, the rumor. And she slept with the coach. And so you're like, boy, this girl knows how to get around. But I'll tell you one thing, man. This girl, if you would have seen this girl was a straight up just lovely little freaking, oh, she was the little peach kitten, I mean, she just, my Lord, she just, like, it was just like the Lord just took the damn DNA right out of some cinnamon and some sugar and just put it, just put it right, or like the Lord just took some cinnamon and sugar, melted it down, put it right into her DNA. And the next thing you know, she'd walk by you, and then all of a sudden you're just, oh my God, you smell like the dang snickerdoodle that just fell out of a freaking 5-star bakery somewhere. 'Cause man, it was just unbelievable how, like, and this girl was a 10, she was a 12, man. And you're just like, yeah, I don't know how anyone was so unbelievably, no one's supposed to look this good. That's just what it is. But so they said that she slept with the whole football team. But the truth is that she was a straight up lesbian. And she had a girlfriend that she dated for almost 3 years that no one even knew about until our senior year. And she's been dating this girl all the way through high school. And we're like, oh, okay. So she didn't sleep with the football team. Interesting. Okay. But, that's how rumors were. That's how rumors worked, But then you got some rumors, and some rumors that, they weren't really rumors. They were actually true, true statements, true facts, that sort of thing. My 8th grade science teacher, Mr. What was his name, man? Bill the Thrill. I think Bill the Thrill Tillman. I think that's what his name was. Bill Tillman, right? Everybody thought he was a real, real bicycle seat sniffer. I'll just call him that, because that he was the real scum of the earth, if you ask me, man. Because everyone thought he was just, he was just everyone thought that he was a pedophile, that sort of thing. Because he would always try to lure kids into his classroom with little Tootsie Rolls and everything, and he always wore one of those those shirts that had like a wolf, howling at the moon, or maybe, an eagle, like picking up a star or something like that. One of those nature shirts. It always had some sort of animalia on it. You know what I'm talking about? So, but everyone's just like, man, this guy is up to no good. And, and then sure enough, a couple years went by, a couple years had passed after, we got out of 8th grade, and it's like, I think my senior year or whatever. And the next thing you know, you're catching up on this article in the newspaper because, back then we didn't have cell phones and all that. So, so the next thing you know, you're reading about him having, kiddie porn on his computer, and you're like, I knew it. I fucking knew it. I knew that guy was up to no good. I knew that guy was wanting to touch a little boy or little female, butthole or something like that. And you're like, stay away from him. Stay away from him. Because you never know who you can trust. 1 minute you're learning about some sort of science from this cat, talking about, periodic tables and petri dishes and all that other stuff. And next thing you know, he's just trying to lure you in, and he's just trying to put a finger in one of your body cavities, and tell you stories about how he was, how he liked the outfit that you were wearing the other day or something like that. But it was just naughtiness. But I think that guy got sent away for, I mean, he's in there, man. I think he's in there for like 40 years or whatever. And you know what? When you become a freaking, what's the word that I want to, man, when you become someone of a sexual offender like that, you deserve A, to get your ass kicked in jail or prison, B, not to be able to come back into society the way that you think, and C, get your ass beat. Get your ass beat. That's my take on it. You want to touch someone? Touch yourself. I guess. Sorry. I was just like thinking of that dude. I just never liked that guy. Never liked him, man. But in the 80s and 90s, you'd only hear about that, about something like that if it came out in the paper, or maybe if you heard it from a neighbor, if one neighbor said it to another neighbor, you'd hear, do you hear about Mr. Michael? Mr. Michael showing off his balls to little Melanie down the street. And the next thing you know, Mr. Michael is getting his ass beat. And that's just what it was. Because you got 3 dads, 2 stepdaddies, a grandmother, and maybe, you got a little baby jumping off the dang, top ropes, or maybe a tin trash can and dropping that little baby elbow right on his freaking, nose bone or whatever, And so, and that's just what it was. And that guy, after he got his ass beat, he had two options. He can either move to another state, or he can get taken off by the police, no questions asked. But nowadays, it's not that way. Because everyone, for some odd reason, is just, everyone's afraid of things. Everybody's scared of everything. You say something wrong, people will put you on blast. You do something that people feel uneasy about or uncomfortable. And I'm not talking about, like that one cat that I just said, Mr. Michael. And that's not a true story by any means. I'm just using that as a, as an example. But, I'm not saying go out there either and show off your man cookies in front of somebody, acting like a real delinquent out there. But, but what I'm saying is, like you could, like just little things will make people uneasy. You go to a grocery store, and you're shopping for, a pair, a set of pears, or maybe you're trying to catch a little, batch of strawberries or something like that. And then you got some girl out there and she's just dancing right in the middle of the produce section. Right there. They're like, I don't like that. That like I don't like what she's doing. I feel uncomfortable because she shouldn't be doing that in this establishment. And so people are thinking like, get away from me. Because they're thinking that maybe it's too embarrassing or they feel scared because they that's not something that you do there. And it's like, look, all she's doing is just enjoying her life, but can't do that anymore. Those three guys, and again, that was a made up story that I was just talking about. Those three guys that put a beating on Mr. Michael wouldn't, that just, it wouldn't fly nowadays because everyone has a cell phone now. Everyone has a cell phone with a camera on it. So if somebody records those three dads beating the fuck out of Mr. Michael, trying to, while they're slapping the damn taste buds out of his freaking mouth, everyone automatically thinks that those dads are in the wrong, even though they know that that the truth behind it is Mr. Michael's been, flash dancing around, his private parts around, around whomever, and until, I guess I should say until, those people, before they flip out the cell phone and everything, they need to know why, what's going on behind, that face pounding, instead of jumping to conclusions, because that's what it is. Everyone jumps to conclusions about whatever it is automatically. Most people, Mr. Michael nowadays, if those three guys walked over to his door or whatever, Mr. Michael would pull out his cell phone like a freaking shield. Most people nowadays, and let's be honest, most people nowadays, they're more afraid of cell phones than actual guns. If that makes any sense. And I know I'm probably getting off topic and that sort of thing. And I'm sorry, but, we just shouldn't let ourselves get caught up, in all of it until you know the full story, Because the story is the thing that tells everyone everything they need to know about the situation that's going on. And then you can make up your own minds about things. Which is another thing that people don't do. And if it feels like I'm complaining right now, it's not that. I'm just looking at the differences, of how things are from when it was when I was growing up to now, And because, for one, people don't think for themselves anymore either. And that's so sad. They want the computer to do it for them, Or they want someone else to do it for them. It's like, what happened to actually using your own head, man? I don't get it. I'm so lost when it comes down to this sort of topic and that sort of thing. And, and I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. But you know how this goes sometimes with me, So, because, I'll get going on one path and, next thing you know, I'm going down some gopher hole and, because my mind, sometimes my mind starts out like, starts off on a carousel And then by the end of what you think is a carousel ride, it ends up being a roller coaster. And you're like, how we get on this thing? Huh? And I'm like, I don't even know. I don't even know. But anyways, man, let's move on from that, man, you know. So what else be going on? Dang, I can't believe my nephew went to Japan. That's crazy. And he was talking about how there's like 8 noodle shops on every, noodle shop, you know? And they're like, it's just so packed with people and it's just a whole other, he said it's just a whole other side of life. He said he's trying to eat some octopi, and then the suction cup parts are all sticking to his teeth and everything. I couldn't even imagine and it was still crawling on his plate and that night, like, God, woo, man, you talking about really living it up, man. I mean, that's just crazy to me. Like, I don't know. I don't think I could ever eat something that's been mobile on a plate. If my steak started moving, you better throw that bitch back on the grill and kill it some more. But, yeah, but again, I'm just glad to have him home, man. What else has been going on? Oh, there's a new Adam Sandler film that just came out. It's gotten pretty high reviews. I checked it out, and man, to be honest, I'm not really sure what to think about all that. Just Sandler, just in general, he's that roller coaster ride. He's got hits. He's got, it's ups and downs, and that sort of thing. But I kind of wish he would go back to his old, you can't redo Billy Madison or anything like that. But and I understand that he's happily married and he has his kids and this and that and yada, yada, yada. But dude, I want a straight up comedy from you, Sandler. I want a goofy comedy. I want a Mr. Deeds or a Big Daddy again. I don't want this science mystery theater, whatever the hell it is, that he has gone. I just, and don't get me wrong, those serious films are, I say serious, but Uncut Gems and his other basketball movie, whatever that was called. They were great. They were they were enjoyable to watch, and he did a great job on them. I think ever since he just joined this Netflix thing, he hasn't been, I don't know, man. He's lost his goofy, I guess. And I understand that he's older and this and that and the other, but I want the old Sandler. Give me back the old Sandler a little bit. Please give me back this, the one that had all of his buddies in it. All those unnamed guys that every so often you're like, where'd that guy come from? But that was the ploy of the joke. That was the certain cases. That was the only reason why certain people would watch those films for those guys. But I don't know, man. To each their own on the whole movie thing, man. Everyone could be a critic. So easy to do. So, but speaking of Adam Sandler, damn, man, Bob Barker died. Bob Barker, he died at 99 the other day, man. And I want to say that guy was, that guy was truly something special, man. And if you don't know who Bob Barker was, he was a part of this game show, called The Price is Right. And he was on that thing for 30 years. And from what I gathered, he'd been married, and then he lost his wife in the 80s, and he never got remarried, and he has a huge heart I don't know, man. He just has, I mean, it's not like I know the dude, but it just seems like he has a huge heart for people and for animals and that sort of thing. And so it just sucks to have a person like that, stray away from this earth. But damn, dude, 99. I'll be lucky to even make it to 68. I'll be lucky. I'm hoping to make it just through today, really. So, but R.I.P. Bobby Barker. I guess we'll. I know it's all over the place today, but hey, it is what it is, man. But I guess we'll close up here, and I'm sorry if I talked about shit on this podcast that doesn't really make any sense or something, if it's something that you don't want to hear. But you know what? That's just what it is. I can't help that. All I could do is just show up and make an attempt to produce something that may be good or maybe it won't. I don't know. It's just, it's Monday, guys. It's Monday. So, but dude, I can't believe it's the last week of August. It went by so fast. So fast. Life is happening so fast. And I can't believe it's almost been a year since we started this thing. It's just crazy. And some weeks in here it feels like it's been a year, and other weeks it's like, wow, I can't believe we're already, we're here already? Like, what happened? Where did everything, how'd the time go? Because, I look at the numbers of the episodes that we do, and I'm like, wow, we're on whatever number we're on right now. That's crazy. And yes, I am going to, and I have been talking about it for the last, month or whatever, to get more guests in here. Get more guests in here, put a number up on there, because I want to hear what you guys are up to. And that's just what it is. So, but anyways, I hope everyone out there has a good week. Get ready for September, cause that little pudding pop is right around the corner. So, all right. Well, let's get through this last week, huh? All right, everyone, take care of yourselves and stay true to yourselves. I'll see you next week, all right? Be well.